What do you get when you combine over 125 years of camera lens heritage and the latest in autofocus technology? The ZEISS Bodice. Engineered exclusively for Sony mirrorless full-frame sensor cameras, the ZEISS Bodice delivers perfect corner-to-corner image quality. With enhanced protection against the elements, the ZEISS Bodice is built to help you push past life's obstacles. ZEISS Bodice, the perfect lens for wherever your passion leads you.
This is ZEISS Presents Full Exposure, the weekly resource for news, trends, and the people who influence the world of photography and cinematography. Hosted by veteran photographer and filmmaker Jim Camp.
Daresha Kyi is an award-winning filmmaker who writes, produces, and directs for film and television. Earlier this year at the South by Southwest Film Festival, we chatted with cinematographer Amy Bench, who shot Daresha's documentary for the American Civil Liberties Union, Texas Strong, an intimate portrait of conservative Christian mother Kimberly Shappley and her 7-year-old trans daughter, Kyi. In the film, Kyi's mom rejects her community's beliefs to support her 7-year-old transgender daughter and her struggle to navigate school, where she's been banned from the girls' bathroom. First, a scene from the powerful ACLU series, Trans in America, Texas Strong.
If Kyi wasn't such a strong-willed little kid, I would have broken her. Me being broken put me together better, but if I had succeeded at breaking my daughter, the statistics say that it wouldn't have turned out well for her.
When my mom let me start being a girl, it was more than amazing. It was gorgeous. It was amazing. It was the best thing that happened to me so far in my life.
Hey, Amy, thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here.
This is an unbelievable project, just on so many levels. As a documentary on a very sensitive topic, number one. Number two, on a topic that is, when you tell people about it, that the kids are so young, you get looks of amazement. So tell me a little bit about how this evolved, how you started working with Daresha.
The ACLU put out a call. They wanted to do a series of 3 films on transgender rights, and they put out a call at the end of 2017. And Daresha had already been stewing on this idea of doing a film about moms who were fully supportive of their LGBT children. When this call came out, Daresha already had a subject, Kimberly and Kyi Shappley, who are just amazing. She ended up being one of the chosen directors to direct one of the 3 films, and Daresha and I had a relationship in that we were going to be shooting this Mama Bears film as soon as the money came in, so we just jumped on it. And almost before it was greenlit, I was down in Pearland, where Kimberly and Kyi lived, shooting, because Kimberly was being nominated. So Kimberly is a Tea Party Republican Christian conservative who was not affirming of her child at all when she came out as a transgender child at the age of 3. But things changed.
Did you say the age of 3?
Yeah, so at the age of 3, Kimberly's daughter, Kyi, started telling her, "You know, Mommy, I'm a girl." And Kimberly did everything in her power to try to change her daughter, to keep her in boys' clothes. But slowly one night she heard her daughter pray to Jesus that she wanted to be taken away. She didn't want to be on this earth. And I think Kyi was around 4 at that age. And that's when Kimberly decided, she started doing more research, not just of the Christian conservative end, but research looking at the statistics of suicide and realizing that over 40% of trans children commit suicide, and she didn't want to go down that path. So she basically lost her family and her church community in order to save her child. And that's what the film is about. It's it's about these courageous women, so Kimberly being one of them, who basically give up everything to support their children. So it's the first time I saw the final cut, I cried, and I don't know if I've ever cried on watching something that I've worked on, because you get so wrapped up in thinking about the shots that you did and what was going on outside of the lens. But almost every time I see the film, I cry, because it's just such a powerful story.
We'll really have to, I don't know. I don't think sleepovers are a good idea, Kat.
Why?
Not everybody understands what trans is. Let me think about it, okay?
That's just something on the back porch.
Tell me about your school.
Well, they do something mean to me sometimes.
Who?
The school. So Miss Walker, the principal, her boss says I cannot use a woman's bathroom, so I have to use a bathroom that just to make me feel good. They put 2 girls to go with me, and that still doesn't help because I sometimes have accidents because the door locks when it closes, and people they just put a magnet to keep the door open. That doesn't work. People keep stealing magnets for their teachers, and I'm like, holy Jesus! And then they do nothing about it, and so I have accidents a lot. Other girls get to go to the girls' bathroom, and I don't get to. And I'm a girl, so I should go to the girls' bathroom.
What kind of reactions do you get when, I told somebody earlier, a filmmaker here earlier, about this, that we were going to be talking, and they were like, how does somebody know at that age that, they're transgender? I mean, you said it very clearly and succinctly, but that whole thing you mentioned about her overhearing her daughter, that's incredibly moving.
It is.
Especially of somebody who you think is so dogmatically conservative and so on.
I think it was because Kai wasn't resisting the conservative Christian world. Kai was going to church and praying and reading the Bible. She wasn't rebelling against any of that, but she was trying to be herself in that framework, and it just wasn't working because her mom was refusing to address it and to accept it until that moment. And I think it was because it was a hidden moment where Kai was in her room alone and her mom heard that she realized this is real. And I think Kimberly has said that it was always in the back of her mind that there was something different about Kai. She thought that Kai was gay, but she also thought that you can change that. But I think it was a process. It didn't happen overnight. I think she spanked Kai. She tried to do things to make her resist the urge to dress like a girl. But, after about a year or a year and a half, she changed her mindset because she wanted to save her child.
I mean, what is it like? I mean, obviously, super sensitive topic in a progressive or liberal community. I mean, what is it like for her to be open to doing this and having cameras around and so on? And God only knows what the what the community reaction is like to this, and how ostracized they must feel.
Yeah, I mean, they don't live in Houston anymore. They don't live in the suburb or the small community outside of Houston that Kyi grew up in. They fought for a few years to try to fit in, and it just became too much. It became too stressful. Kyi wasn't allowed to use the girls' bathroom. They lived in a conservative community. They had to hide. They had death threats. Whenever we filmed at her house, I wasn't allowed to film the exterior or anything that would give away their location because they didn't want to be harmed. So
Did you even feel like you couldn't even show cameras like walking in or anything like that?
it was a
Equipment?
pretty rural area,
No.
so once we pulled in the driveway, it was a little safe.
Sure.
And we
Yeah.
we did get some shots outside, but I was very careful to not even show the side of the house. We showed the backyard. There's shots of the driveway. But I think once I started filming, and I started filming almost immediately when I walked in the door because things started happening, and I would have
You
liked to
started
have.
filming almost immediately.
Yes, yeah, because I drove in from Austin, and Kimberly had been nominated for this award from this LGBT organization in Houston, the GLAAD Awards. And so they were all getting ready, getting dressed, and the babysitter came over, and I knew something was gonna, getting ready and everything involved with how people let their guards down when they're getting their hair curled and their nails painted. I knew that was gonna be a good moment. So I barely even met them before I started filming. Daresha had a relationship with them for a while, so I wasn't just somebody off the street, but
The presence of the camera is...
it was different, yeah. And I got the camera out and just started filming, and I think I have a very delicate approach when I'm in the room with people. I get close. I'm not afraid to get close to people and be there, but I let my guard down, and I think people can see that. So they opened up really quickly, and the trust was built almost immediately. So we were able to film inside and outside, and it worked out okay. I didn't have to hide anything, but we were careful not to show where they lived.
What did you shoot with?
I shot on a Sony FS7, the Mark II.
Oh, that's not a small camera.
It's not a small camera.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
in a sensitive subject,
Yeah.
I would ordinarily think you would shoot with something smaller,
Yeah.
just, to be able to get close and to make
Yeah.
them feel more at ease and stuff.
Well, I didn't have a big lens. I just had a Canon 24 to 105 lens, so nothing huge. But yeah, it's bigger than my last camera, but it's not like shooting on an Alexa or something
Right.
built out with a
Right.
matte box and a follow focus. I didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was able to get the camera on the table really close when they were painting nails, and I feel like, especially in a story like this, intimacy is really important. You want the audience to feel like they really get to know Kyi really quickly, and I think the film does that. So yeah, being able to get close is important, and not having too big of a camera package. So you asked about camera. Lights.
Yeah. Did you bring any light?
I didn't bring any light because it was verite, so we wanted to get close. We wanted them to forget about the camera.
Doesn't
Kyi
FS7,
never forgets about the camera.
Yeah.
She is like
Never.
So-
I mean, she didn't sort of get a little more invisible.
She always knows the camera's there. Shooting with kids can be challenging
Yeah.
because they have short attention spans,
Right.
and Kyi, I think, really loves the performative aspect of media. And so she's all, her mom has been filming. In the film, there's a lot of cell phone videos too from back before we were there, when Kyi was
Yeah.
younger, before her mom was affirming of her child. And so I think Kyi is used to being on camera, even just if it's a cell phone. So
But kids love that a camera's
they love it.
present
So
no matter what.
So
yeah,
she always knew it was there. But it not to say that we didn't get authentic moments. We definitely did. But that being said, I didn't want to bring in lights. They didn't have a huge house that they lived in. So what we did was, usually when I walk into a space, I'll suss it out. I don't have a lot of time when we're doing documentary work. You don't have a lot of time because you want to spend most of your time talking to who you're going to film rather than like poking around their house. But I would open and close blinds. I changed out a few light bulbs to make the color temperature match a little bit better, and just make sure that not all the lights are on or all the lights are off, but we had nice light coming in through the window and a little fill light from the overhead, and make sure the fan's off so you don't get a strobe.
Right.
But that was the extent of lighting. We did a few interviews with Kimberly and I lit those. But in terms of the ACLU specifically wanted verite films. They did not want to see talking heads. And you see maybe 10 or 20 seconds of Kimberly in an interview, but everything else is you're in a scene with either Kimberly and Kai or Kai on her own playing. So they were really pushing for verite.
So how will the feature come together?
So in the meantime, the film has 1.8 million views on YouTube.
Wow.
And so that's been incredible. That's actually been woven into the story because somebody in North Carolina saw the film and was so touched by it that he decided to send Kai what he calls a 40-pound box of love. He spent a couple months getting letters from all over the country and every continent actually, writing letters of support for Kai because he said, you have all this attention now, but when you're 20, 30 years old and you're having a bad day, you can open up this box and remember that there's people all over the world supporting you.
That's great. Well, listen, this is a terrific project.
Yeah.
And wish you so much luck on it.
Thank you.
How can people find out more about it?
So the film is actually on the Condé Nast platform called Them. It's their LGBT platform. And you can watch it and two of the other films in Trans in America, and they're available on YouTube. If you Google Kai Shappley, that's Kai Shappley, or Kimberly Shappley, you can watch the film. It's 18 minutes. There's also a website, Mama Bears. I don't know what the website is, but there's a website for the film called Mama Bears and a Facebook page and Instagram. So
and you can Google Daresha as well.
You can Google Daresha as well. She's got a website.
Okay. So, and we'll put that up too for the video links as well.
Yeah.
Well, Amy, thank you for coming in. Thank you so much.
Thank you for caring about the project.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming.